Have you ever looked at the loose change in your pocket and thought one of those coins might be worth a fortune? Believe it or not, that could be true. One of the most ordinary coins in American circulation, the 1966 Washington quarter dollar, has become famous for a few rare and valuable varieties, and one of them reportedly sold for an unbelievable $1.9 million. Rarest coins. Today, we're diving into the incredible story, the history, and the mystery behind the 1966 Washington quarter. Let's start with the background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin quickly became a cornerstone of American currency. On the front, we see George Washington facing left, with the word Liberty across the top, the motto "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date at the bottom. On the back, the majestic bald eagle sits proudly on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it, representing both strength and peace. Now let's move forward to the 1960s. Before 1965, all United States quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But during the early 1960s, the price of silver began to skyrocket, and people started hoarding silver coins because their metal value was worth more than their face value. The U.S. Mint faced a major problem. There was a coin shortage, and it was costing too much to produce silver coins. In response, the Mint made a bold move. Starting in 1965, they stopped making quarters out of silver and switched to a copper-nickel clad composition, which is what we still use today. The new coins had an outer layer of copper and nickel bonded to a pure copper core. The 1966 quarter was part of this new generation of non-silver coins. Because of this transition, 1966 was a chaotic year for the Mint. They were producing billions of new clad quarters while also dealing with leftover silver blanks from 1964. That mix-up led to one of the most fascinating coin stories in history. A small number of 1,966 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from the previous silver coinage. These coins were never supposed to exist. But somehow, a few escaped the Mint, entering circulation unnoticed. And now, they're some of the rarest and most valuable modern quarters ever found in the world of coin collecting. These are known as transitional error coins, coins struck during the change from silver to clad composition. The rarity of the 1966 silver quarter makes it a true collector's dream. One of these error coins reportedly sold for around $1.9 million at a private auction, setting a record and sparking a nationwide hunt for similar finds. So how can you tell if your 1966 quarter might be one of these rare silver errors? There are a few key things to look for. First, examine the edge of the coin. Normal copper-nickel quarters have a visible orange or brown stripe around the edge because of the copper core. A rare silver 1966 quarter, on the other hand, will have a completely solid silver-colored edge with no trace of copper. Second, check the weight. Regular 1966 clad quarters weigh about 5.67 grams, but silver quarters weigh around 6.25 grams. It may not sound like much of a difference, but it's easy to measure with a small digital scale. Third, listen to the sound. When you gently drop a silver coin on a hard surface, it produces a clear, high-pitched ringing tone. A clad coin will make a duller, lower sound. That ring is often the first clue collectors notice when they stumble upon something special. If you think your coin matches those signs, it's important not to clean it or handle it too much. Cleaning a coin can destroy its surface and dramatically lower its value. Instead, place it in a soft holder and take it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. These companies can authenticate and grade the coin, giving you a certified value. Even if your 1966 quarter isn't one of the rare silver errors, it can still be worth more than face value if it's in excellent condition. Uncirculated or mint-state 1966 quarters with sharp details and original luster can sell for $10 to several $100s depending on their grade. Proof-like examples or coins with unique toning can also bring in premium prices among collectors. The 1966 Washington quarter is special for another reason too. Because of the ongoing coin shortage at the time, the Mint temporarily removed mint marks from all coins between 1965 and 1967. That means there's no letter on the front or back to show where it was made. Every 1966 quarter looks the same. This decision was meant to discourage people from hoarding coins from specific mints. but it also makes identifying errors a little more challenging and exciting for collectors today. The story of the 1966 quarter is really a story of change, both in American history and in the coins we use every day. It marked the end of silver coinage and the beginning of the modern era of money. And out of that chaotic transition came a few rare mistakes that are now worth more than most people's homes to so the next time you get a quarter in your change, don't ignore it. Take a close look. Examine the edge, weigh it if you can, and see if anything seems unusual. You never know, that little coin sitting in your hand could be a piece of history worth over $1 million. That it's stories like these that keep collectors searching, because every coin tells a story. Some are common and ordinary, but a few are extraordinary, rare, and life-changing. The 1966 Washington quarter is proof that sometimes treasure really can hide in plain sight. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1966 Washington quarter and its incredible story, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our next upload. And remember, always check your change. The next fortune might already be in your pocket. Would you like me to make a short viral version of this script? One that grabs attention in the first 5 seconds for a YouTube short or TikTok? Wondered if there's a hidden treasure sitting in your pocket change? Believe it or not, one of the most ordinary-looking coins, the 1965 Washington quarter, could be worth up to $1.8 million. That's right, a small 25-cent coin that you might have spent on candy or coffee could actually make you rich. Rarest coins. Today we're uncovering the incredible story, history, and value behind one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1965 Washington quarter dollar. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter has been a part of American coinage since 1932. It was created to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, and the design was done by sculptor John Flanagan. The coin features the classic portrait of George Washington facing left on the front with the word Liberty above and the motto, "In God We Trust," beside him. On the back, there's the American bald eagle standing proudly on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, a timeless image of peace and strength. Now here's where the story takes a big turn. Before 1965, all U.S. quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But in the mid-1960s, silver prices started rising fast. The U.S. Mint realized it was costing more to make coins than they were actually worth. So in 1965, the Mint made a historic decision. They stopped using silver in quarters and switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. That change marked the end of an era, and the 1965 quarter became the very first year of the new non-silver design. Billions of these new clad quarters were produced, and for most people, the 1965 quarter was just another coin in their pocket. But here's the twist. During that transition from silver to clad, a few coins were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964. These rare mistakes are what make some 1965 quarters worth an unbelievable amount of money today. Imagine this. The Mint was supposed to melt down all of the remaining 1964 silver blanks before starting the new 1965 production. But somehow, a few of those silver blanks got mixed in with the copper-nickel planchets. When they were struck with the new 1965 dies, they created a coin that technically should never have existed, a 1965 quarter made of silver instead of clad metal. These silver 1965 quarters are extremely rare, and collectors go crazy for them. In fact, one of these rare transitional era coins reportedly sold for an incredible $1.8 million at auction. It's the kind of story that keeps coin collectors searching through old jars, change drawers, and pocketfuls of coins, hoping to find that one hidden treasure. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable 1965 quarters? There are a few key signs to look for. First, the easiest test is the edge. Regular 1965 quarters made of copper-nickel have a visible orange or brown stripe along the edge because of the exposed copper core. But the rare silver version will have a completely solid silver edge with no visible copper. Next, listen to the sound. When you drop a silver coin on a hard surface, it has a high, ringing tone, almost like a bell. A clad quarter, on the other hand, makes a duller sound. You can also check the weight. A regular 1965 clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. It's a small difference, but if you have a good digital scale, it's easy to notice if your 1965 quarter looks like it has no copper edge, weighs slightly more, and has that silver ring when dropped. It's time to get it authenticated by a professional grading company. Even if it's not the $1 million version, it could still be worth thousands depending on its condition and how cleanly the error was struck. Now, even regular 1965 quarters in high mint state grades can be valuable too. While most circulated examples are worth only 25 cents, uncirculated or proof-like 1965 quarters graded by PCGS or NGC can sell for hundreds of dollars. Some pristine examples with sharp details and perfect luster have reached prices over $1,000 at auction. The most valuable examples, though, are those rare transitional errors, the silver planchet 1965 quarters. Only a few have ever been confirmed, which is why their prices can climb into the hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million. It's fascinating to think that such a small minting mistake could turn a common coin into a life-changing discovery. The 1965 silver quarter tells the story of a time when the U.S. Mint was adjusting to economic changes, rushing to keep up with silver shortages, and unknowingly creating some of the most collectible coins in modern history. If you're hunting for one of these coins, remember a few tips. Always check your change. Search old coin rolls from banks. Many people have jars of coins that haven't been looked through in decades, and that's where treasures hide. Use a magnifying glass, good lighting, and a scale. And if something looks off, don't ignore it. It might just be your lucky find. Before we wrap up, here's a quick recap. The 1965 Washington quarter marked the end of the silver era. Most are made of copper and nickel, but a few rare silver transitional errors escaped the mint by accident. One of those coins sold for around $1.8 million, making it one of the most valuable quarters ever discovered. So next time you get change back at the store, take a close look at that quarter. It could be one of the rarest coins in U.S. history, hiding in plain sight and waiting to change your life. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the rare 1965 Washington quarter and its incredible story, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next upload. Remember, that one coin in your pocket might just be worth a fortune. Would you like me to make a shorter, more viral-style version of this script, the kind that grabs attention fast for TikTok or YouTube Shorts? Have you ever looked at the coins in your pocket and wondered if one of them could be worth a fortune? What if I told you that a simple 1993 P Washington quarter, a coin you might see every day, could be worth as much as $1.3 million? That's right. Today we're uncovering the incredible story behind one of the most surprising modern coin discoveries in American history, the 1993 P Washington quarter dollar. Let's start with a bit of history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin features the iconic left-facing portrait of Washington with the word Liberty above, the motto, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the date below. On the reverse, an American bald eagle sits proudly on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it, a timeless image of strength, peace, and freedom. Fast forward to 1993. The United States Mint was striking billions of coins at its facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The letter P, under the date, stands for the Philadelphia Mint, and the 1993 P quarter was part of that massive production. Over 600 million of them were made, which makes this coin seem like one of the most common quarters out there. So how could one of these coins ever be worth over $1 million? As with many great stories in coin collecting, it all comes down to condition, rarity, and minting errors. Most 1993 P quarters are worth only their face value, just 25 cents. But a small number of them were struck under unusual conditions that make them stand out dramatically from the rest. One of the most valuable 1993 P quarters ever discovered was struck on a 90% silver planchet, something that should not have happened at all in 1993. By that time, U.S. quarters had long been made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, not silver. Somehow, a leftover silver blank from an earlier commemorative coin issue ended up in the presses at the Philadelphia Mint. When it was struck with the 1993 dies, it created a coin that was technically impossible, a 1993 P silver quarter. Because of that minting error, This rare transitional coin became one of the most sought-after modern heirs in existence. In a private sale, a high-grade 1993 P silver quarter reportedly sold for around $1.3 million, setting a record for modern-era Washington quarters. Collectors and experts love these kinds of discoveries because they reveal the human side of minting. Even with all the technology and precision of the U.S. Mint, accidents still happen, and sometimes those tiny mistakes create million-dollar treasures. So, how can you tell if your 1993 P quarter might be one of these valuable pieces? There are a few key signs to check. First, look at the edge of the coin. Regular copper-nickel quarters have a visible orange or brown stripe along the edge because of the copper core. If your 1993 P quarter has a completely solid silver edge with no trace of copper, that's a big clue. Second, weigh the coin. A normal 1993 P-clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter weighs closer to 6.25 grams. If your coin is heavier than it should be, it could have been struck on a silver planchet. You can also check the sound. When you gently drop a silver coin on a hard surface, it makes a high-pitched ringing sound. A clad coin has a duller, lower tone. That ring can be a big giveaway for experienced collectors that if you find a coin that matches these signs, don't clean it or handle it too much. Cleaning can destroy its value. Instead, put it in a soft holder and have it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can confirm whether your coin is the rare silver version and give it an official grade that determines its value. Even regular 1993 P quarters can be worth more than face value if they're in perfect mint condition. High-grade uncirculated examples, especially those graded MS 67 or higher, can sell for $50 to several $100 depending on the sharpness of the strike and the quality of the luster. Proof-like examples or coins with deep mirror surfaces are also highly collectible, but the real jackpot is the silver transitional error. Only a few are known to exist, which is why collectors are willing to pay staggering amounts for one. Stories like this remind us that valuable coins aren't always old or made of gold. Sometimes, they're hidden in plain sight among the coins we use every day. That it's amazing to think that a mistake made in the minting process could turn an ordinary quarter into a one-of-a-kind collectible worth more than a luxury home. The 1993 P. Washington quarter stands as a reminder of how small details, timing, and luck can create something extraordinary. If you want to search for valuable coins, here are a few tips. Always check your pocket change and coin jars. Use good lighting and a magnifying glass. Look closely at the edges, the date, the mint mark, and any unusual features. Weigh your coins if possible. And most importantly, be patient. Coin collecting is as much about discovery as it is about luck. To sum it up, the 1993 P. Washington quarter might seem like an ordinary coin, but a few of them are anything but ordinary. The rare silver transitional era version has reached prices around $1.3 million, making it one of the most valuable quarters ever known. So the next time you get change at the grocery store, take a closer look before spending it. That 1993 P quarter in your hand might just be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story about the 1993 P Washington quarter and its incredible value, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next episode. You never know, the next coin in your pocket could be worth a fortune. Would you like me to write a short version of this script optimized for YouTube Shorts or TikTok, around 1 minute long, punchy, and designed to grab attention right away? Have you ever looked at the coins in your pocket and wondered if one of them could change your life? It sounds crazy, but sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins turn out to be worth a fortune. And one of those coins might just be the 1966 Washington quarter. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent coin from 1966 that could be worth as much as $1.9 million. So today, we're going deep into the story, the history, and the incredible value of this fascinating coin. Rarest coins. Let's start with the background. The Washington quarter has been a key part of American coinage since 1932. It was introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in the world. The design, created by sculptor John Flanagan, features George Washington facing left on the obverse side, with the word Liberty above, the national motto "In God We Trust" beside him, and the date below. The reverse side shows the American bald eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it. A perfect symbol of strength and peace. By the mid-1960s, the United States Mint was facing a crisis. The price of silver was rising fast, and people were hoarding coins made of silver because the metal inside was worth more than the coin's face value. That shortage caused chaos. To fix the problem, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, which removed silver from dimes and quarters altogether. The new coins were made of a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of 90% silver. The year 1966 was right in the middle of this major transition. The mint was working overtime to produce billions of new clad coins, while also phasing out the old silver ones. During that time, the mint also made the unusual decision to remove mint marks from all coins between 1965 and 1967. This was done to discourage coin hoarding, which was becoming a national issue. That means every 1966 quarter looks the same. There's no mint mark for Philadelphia, Denver, or anywhere else. Now, here's where things get interesting. During this huge changeover, a few errors occurred at the mint. Somehow, a very small number of 1,966 quarters were struck on leftover 90% silver planchets that were supposed to be used for 1964 dated coins. These silver blanks accidentally got mixed in with the new copper-nickel planchets. As a result, a tiny number of 1,966 quarters were made out of silver, even though they were never supposed to be. These accidental silver 1966 quarters are known as transitional errors, and they're incredibly rare. Because of their unique history and extreme scarcity, collectors are willing to pay huge amounts for them. One of these rare coins reportedly sold for around $1.9 million at a private auction. That makes it one of the most valuable modern quarters in history. So how can you tell if your 1966 quarter might be one of these rare silver errors? There are a few easy things to look for. First, check the edge of the coin. Regular copper-nickel quarters have a distinct orange or brown stripe along the edge because of the copper core. But a silver quarter will have a completely solid silver-colored edge with no trace of copper. Second, weigh the coin. A normal copper-nickel quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. A silver quarter, however, weighs about 6.25 grams. That slight difference is enough to reveal what metal the coin is made of. Third, listen to the sound. When you gently drop a silver coin on a hard surface, it makes a clear, high-pitched ringing sound. A clad coin makes a duller, lower sound. That tone is an easy giveaway that experienced collectors know very well, that if your 1966 quarter has a solid silver edge, weighs a little more, and rings like a bell when dropped, it's time to have it checked by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can authenticate it and give it an official grade, which determines its exact market value. Even if your 1966 quarter isn't one of the ultra-rare silver errors, it can still be worth more than face value if it's in excellent condition. Coins in mint state, especially those graded MS 66 or higher, can sell for hundreds of dollars because of their sharp details, bright luster, and lack of wear. The 1966 quarter also has another interesting piece of history behind it. Because of the nationwide coin shortage, the mint didn't produce proof sets that year. Instead, they released something called special mint sets, or SMS coins. These coins were struck with extra care and have a slightly better finish than regular circulation coins. If you have a 1966 special mint set quarter, it could also be worth more than a normal one, especially in top condition. But the true treasure of 1966 is the silver error coin, the one that never should have existed. These coins are like ghosts from the silver era, sneaking their way into the world of modern coinage. Because of their story and extreme rarity, collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own one. So the next time you come across a 1966 Washington quarter, don't dismiss it as just another coin. Look closely at the edge, check the weight, and pay attention to every little detail. You never know what you might discover. That it's incredible to think that a coin most people spend without a second thought could be hiding such immense value. The 1966 Washington quarter is a perfect example of how history, mistakes, and a bit of luck can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. To recap, the 1966 Washington quarter marked the end of silver coinage and the start of the modern era of clad coins. Most are worth only their face value, but a few rare transitional errors were struck on silver planchets by mistake. One of these coins sold for around $1.9 million, proving that treasures can still be found in the most unexpected places. So always check your change. Dig through your old coin jars and look at every detail. You might be holding one of the rarest coins in American history, a simple 25-cent piece that could make you rich. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story about the 1966 Washington quarter and its surprising history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Remember, every coin has a story, and yours might just be worth a fortune. Would you like me to create a shorter, viral-style version of this same story, perfect for a 1-minute YouTube short that hooks viewers instantly? Have you ever looked at a simple quarter and wondered if it could make you a millionaire? What if I told you that one of the most ordinary coins in your pocket, the 1994 Washington quarter, could be worth up to $1.2 million? That's right. Today we're uncovering the fascinating history, hidden value, and unbelievable story behind one of the most surprising coins in modern American history. The Washington quarter has been an essential part of United States coinage since 1932. It was originally created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, the coin features a bold portrait of Washington facing left, with the word liberty across the top, the motto "In God We Trust" to the left, and the date at the bottom. On the reverse, the American bald eagle stands on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, representing strength and peace. Fast forward to 1994. By then, the U.S. Mint had already been producing the copper-nickel-clad quarters for almost 3 decades. The days of silver quarters were long gone, but coin collectors still searched for rare errors and high-grade examples that could be worth big money. The letter D on the 1994 D quarter stands for the Denver Mint, where over 880 million of these coins were produced. With so many in circulation, you might think that every 1994 D quarter is worth only 25 cents, and for most of them, that's true. But as coin collectors know, not all coins are created equal. One particular 1994 D Washington quarter shocked the collecting world when it sold for a reported $1.2 million. So what made this coin so special? The answer lies in a rare and mysterious minting error that occurred during production. During the minting process, a small number of 1994 D quarters were struck on the wrong type of planchet, the blank metal disc used to make coins. Instead of being struck on the regular copper-nickel planchet used for quarters, this rare coin was struck on a 90% silver planchet, likely leftover from a commemorative or proof coin program. Because silver blanks were not supposed to be used for regular circulation quarters, this mistake created one of the rarest modern error coins ever discovered. Collectors call this type of coin a transitional error. It's the kind of accident that happens when different metal compositions are being used at the mint and a few old blanks accidentally slip into production. When that happens, it creates coins that were never supposed to exist, coins that can be worth a fortune. Experts say that only a handful of these silver 1994 D quarters are known to exist, which makes them extremely valuable. One high-grade example, authenticated and certified by a professional grading company, sold privately for about $1.2 million, making it one of the most valuable Washington quarters ever recorded. So, how can you tell if your 1994 D quarter might be one of these rare silver errors? There are a few simple steps you can take to check. First, examine the edge of your coin. A normal copper-nickel quarter will have a visible orange or brown stripe running along the edge because of its copper core. A silver planchet, on the other hand, will have a completely solid silver-colored edge with no trace of copper. Second, check the weight. A regular clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. You can use a small digital scale to see the difference. If your coin is heavier than normal, that's a big clue it might be made of silver. Third, pay attention to the sound. When you drop a silver coin on a hard surface, it produces a clear, high-pitched ringing sound, while a clad coin makes a duller, lower tone. Experienced collectors can often tell the difference just by listening. That if you think you have a rare 1994 D silver quarter, handle it carefully. Do not clean it or polish it. as cleaning can lower its value dramatically. Place it in a protective holder and have it examined by a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. Once it's authenticated, you'll know exactly what you have and how much it's worth. Even if your 1994 D-quarter isn't the rare silver error, it can still have value if it's in pristine condition. Coins that are in mint state, especially those graded MS 67 or higher, can sell for several $100s because of their sharp details and original luster. Collectors love finding high-grade examples of modern coins, especially from the 1990s, since so few were saved in perfect condition. The story of the 1994 D-quarter is a reminder that even in the modern age of coin production, incredible mistakes can still happen. These errors are like time capsules from the mint, small accidents that slip through unnoticed but later become treasures for those who find them. Just imagine finding one of these coins in your change or tucked away in an old coin jar. A simple 25-cent piece that could change your life forever. So, here's what to remember. The 1994 D Washington quarter was struck at the Denver Mint, made mostly of copper and nickel. But a few rare ones were mistakenly made on silver planchets, and those are worth serious money, up to $1.2 million. The key is to check the weight, the sound, and especially the edge. No copper stripe and a higher weight could mean you found something incredible. Coin collecting is more than a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. Every coin has a story, and some stories are worth more than anyone could imagine. The 1994 D Washington quarter is proof that valuable treasures don't always come from gold mines or jewelry boxes. Sometimes they're hiding in your spare change. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1994 D Washington quarter and its surprising value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our next upload. Remember, the next coin you find in your pocket could be worth a fortune. Would you like me to create a short version of this same script that's optimized for YouTube Shorts, under 1 minute and designed to hook viewers right from the first line? Have you ever looked at the coins in your pocket and wondered if one of them could make you rich? What if I told you that a simple 25-cent coin, the 1995 D Washington quarter, could be worth as much as $1.4 million? It sounds unbelievable, but stories like this are exactly why coin collectors all over the world still check their change every day. Today, we're uncovering the amazing history, value, and secrets behind the 1995 D Washington quarter. Let's begin with a bit of background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, this coin quickly became one of the most iconic pieces of American currency. On the obverse side, or the front, you'll find the portrait of George Washington facing left, with the word Liberty above, the motto "In God We Trust" beside him, and the date below. On the reverse, the coin shows a proud bald eagle perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it, a perfect symbol of America's balance between strength and peace. Now let's fast forward to 1995. The United States Mint was producing billions of Washington quarters that year. The small letter D under the date on the front of the coin indicates that it was made at the Denver Mint. In total, more than 1.1 billion of these 1995 D quarters were struck, making it seem like a completely ordinary coin. So how could one possibly be worth over $1 million? The answer lies in rarity, errors, and condition. Most 1995 D quarters are worth just 25 cents in circulation. But a few rare examples stand out for extraordinary reasons. And those are the ones that collectors dream of finding. One particular 1995 D quarter became legendary after it was discovered to have been struck on a 90% silver planchet, a blank disc that was never meant to be used for that year's coinage. By 1995, quarters were made from a copper-nickel-clad composition, not silver. Somehow, a leftover silver planchet from a previous minting run slipped into the presses at the Denver Mint, creating a coin that should not exist. This accidental silver 1995 D quarter became one of the rarest modern era coins ever found. When authenticated and graded in near-perfect condition, it reportedly sold at auction for around $1.4 million. That sale shocked collectors and inspired a wave of treasure hunters to start checking their change, hoping to find another one of these extraordinary coins. So how can you tell if your 1995 D-quarter might be one of these rare and valuable pieces. There are a few simple things to look for. First, examine the edge of the coin. A regular copper nickel-clad quarter will have a visible orange or brown stripe along the edge because of the copper core inside. A silver quarter, however, will have a solid silver-colored edge with no copper stripe at all. Second, check the weight. A standard 1995 D-clad quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, while a silver planchet quarter weighs around 6.25 grams. You can use a small digital scale to tell the difference. That slight change in weight could be worth a fortune. Third, listen to the sound. When you gently drop a silver coin on a hard surface, it produces a clear, high-pitched ringing sound. A clad coin makes a duller, lower tone. That unique silver ring is a sound that experienced collectors never forget. If your coin seems heavier, looks different around the edge, or sounds like silver, handle it carefully. Don't clean or polish it, since that can reduce its value dramatically. Instead, place it in a protective holder and have it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies can confirm whether it's one of the rare transitional errors and assign it an official grade that determines its true market value. Even regular 1995 D-quarters can be worth more than face value in exceptional condition. Coins graded in mint state, especially those rated MS 67 or higher, can sell for several $100s because of their pristine details and mirror-like finish. Collectors are always searching for the best examples from each year, and the 1990s quarters are becoming increasingly collectible as time passes. But of course, the most exciting possibility is finding one of the rare error coins. Transitional errors like the 1995 D silver quarter are a reminder that even in a world of machines and precision, mistakes can still happen. And sometimes, those mistakes turn into treasures. The story of the 1995 D quarter is not just about money. It's a glimpse into history, a time when the mint was producing coins at a massive scale and an unexpected error slipped through the cracks. That tiny oversight created a modern legend, a coin worth $1.4 million that continues to inspire coin collectors and casual hobbyists alike. If you're searching for valuable coins, remember these tips. Always check your pocket change and coin jars. Look at the edges, weigh the coins if you can, and pay attention to anything unusual in color, texture, or sound. Many incredible finds have come from people who were simply curious enough to take a closer look. So the next time you get a handful of change, take a moment to look closely at your quarters. That simple 1995 D coin might look ordinary, but it could be hiding a life-changing secret. To sum it up, most 1995 D Washington quarters are worth 25 cents, but a few rare minting errors, especially those struck on silver planchets, have sold for extraordinary amounts, including one that reached a staggering $1.4 million. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1995 D Washington quarter and its surprising story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more rare coin stories, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. You never know, the next coin you find could be worth more than you ever imagined. Would you like me to write a short, punchy 1-minute version of this same story that's ideal for YouTube Shorts or TikTok?